Assalamu alaikum to all of you. I hope you all are fine uh, and be fine and be safe at your homes and trying to coping up or trying to work on your research. Though it is not possible that you will be doing outside research, but you have to work with the collecting of your data, rephrasing of your data, working on your data. You have to find out as many as references from the net just to find out, just to try to rephrase it, just to read so many literature on your particular topic and specific topic, and then you will be working a lot. So just to work on more objectives, more goals, try to rewrite of your proposal just to make it more interesting, more logical, more rational. Whenever you work with your researches, so you'll be working. You have to know each and everything about your what is your population and sampling, as you already worked on it. हम ऑलरेडी इस पे काम कर रहे हैं मगर आपको भी फाइन यू हैव टू नो यू हैव टू रियली you have to really work on or you have to really know each and about anything about whatever uh, very importantly you have to know about what is your population is why you have taken this sample how much sample you are going to take and what is your data collection tool so you'll be working with so many things together इस पे काम करो सोचो बातें करो and then you will find out with this. So if issue now the particular point is of the population is sample पे तो बात करी. So why how can we consider that how it could be considered as a very rational with the sampling? Is it what is the appropriate way? What is the appropriate sample to collect data from there? So this is a very important. The selection of appropriate sampling is very important. Why I'm saying it? But suppose my question is just to ask writing samples from the students, but I am going to ask the questions from the teachers. So what is the use of the asking from the teachers? That is my wrong sample. Though my population would be the teachers, could be because they are using would be sample students would be considered as sample, but again, if the sample is not appropriate with my research, so it means my research is no way in that way it's not more appropriate or rationally more okay. Sample selection is very important, but sometimes underestimate the part of the research study. So again, you would be very whenever you talk about this sample selection, you should be more specific with your samples. That what is your research study, and how this research study incorporates this sample. Sampling theory describes two sampling domains: probability and non-probability. आपके research question में या फिर आपकी जब भी वाइवा होगा, you'll be having this question that what kind of sample you have used, who is your sample, and what kind of sampling you have used. So could be probability sampling or non-probability sampling, or as we have already talked about it. हम already इससे बात कर चुके हैं. So probability samples contain some type of randomization and consist of a simple stratified systematic cluster sequential type. This is called a probability sampling. And what is due and non-prob? Right, we'll talk about this. Right, how to decide about sample size. Determining the sample size involves resources or a source of statistical issue. Usually, researchers regarded 100 participants as the minimum sample size when the population is large. However, in most studies, the sample size is determined effectively by two factors: the nature of data analysis proposed and estimate response rate. So basically, we'll be working as we talked about it. कि भाई आपको जैसे Sidra used to work on the English learning or vocabulary learning through a newspaper. So how many? If your participants are not that much, so what is the use of that? How can you be appropriate with your sampling size? So your sampling size is more important over here. At least, according to me, there must be at least 50 to 60 samples होने चाहिए हैं just to have a good data. because we would be having a maximized population. हमारे पास population बहुत है, maximum population है, thousands of teachers. अब वैसे 1000 टीचर्स 100 तो होने चाहिए ना, तो हम उससे भी कम करें जी, 50 और 60 होने चाहिए. So at least 50 and 60 is the more reasonable data just to give out master's level पे इतना होना चाहिए. However, most studies the sample size is determined effectively by two factors: the nature of data analysis proposed and estimated response rate. राइट. सो व्हाट डू यू बिलीव दैट हाँ जी मैंने 10 को दे दिया तो 10 में से 7 सही जवाब देंगे, हो सकता है 2 जो है गड़बड़ कर दे. सो दिस इज अगेन वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट दैट we have distributed our questionnaire to 100 people and only 30 people have given us the right answer. The other has left the questions, or they are randomly correct or mark the ticks in every boxes. somehow वो एक issue ये भी है. But you have to decide your sample size in a very practical way. The minimum sample size is 100, as the theorists believe that. कि हाँ जी 10,000 के लोग भी हैं, जिसमें sample size आपको जो genuinely माना जाता है वो 100 है. Most statisticians agree that the minimum sample size to get any kind of meaningful result is 100. If your population is less than 100, then you really need to survey all of them. अगर right? This is a very simple thing. A good maximum sample size is usually 10% as long as it is done on 60,000. This is the sample size. Basically, अभी इसका तरीका ये आपको बताया गया 1000 में से 10% लोग होने चाहिए तो वो 100 बनते हैं. तो ये this is the real conclusion, concluding part. Statistical analysis ही कहता है. 60 होते तो then you have to give your validity because you cannot find it. ऐसे बहुत सारे questions होते हैं, then you have to give the answer appropriately with that. So again, I'm saying you that you have, whenever you work with your sample size, questionnaire, interview, so you would be working with all these issues. Random sampling. A simple random sample is a subset of a statistical population in which each member of subsets has an equal probability of being chosen. So random sampling means, we have talked about it. But again, random sampling is that everyone has given equal chance to participate in that particular research. Random sampling is a part of the sampling technique in which each sample has an equal probability of being chosen. Right? A sample chosen randomly is meant to be an unbiased representation of the total population. If for some reason the sample does not represent the population, the variation is called a sampling error. ये sampling error में आ जाता है अगर आपकी random sampling नहीं है. For suppose if you are going to ask question or your studies focus on the teachers, and then you are going to have teachers from the only private schools. So either random sampling, आपने लिखा हुआ है public sector, and then you are going to choose from the private sector से आपने सारे questionnaires भरवा लिए. Public sector का issue है. Then what is it is not a real, that is called a sampling. आपका sampling error के अंदर चला जाएगा क्योंकि it's not representing the real you'll say the real phenomena of the collecting data. तो ये बड़े, that would be considered a very issue. And then again आप biased हो जाए कि नहीं यार उनसे पूछ लो वो सही जवाब दे देंगे, वो जवाब सही नहीं देते. Don't go there. It is too difficult to go over there. Just to find out somewhere near to your place and find out those people and then just collect the data. अरे छोड़ो उनसे भी ना पूछो, जो आप कल क्लास के अंदर बैठे हुए थे उन्हीं से भरवा लेते हैं, क्या जरूरत है जाने की. So we would be having so many reasons for that, but that would consider sampling error में चला जाएगा वो चीज, क्योंकि आपका आंसर सबके सब एक साथ ही एक जैसे आ जाएंगे या इतने डिस्ट्रैक्टेड आएंगे कि आपको समझ में ही नहीं आएगा कि कहाँ मसला हो गया. Description. Random sampling is one of the simplest form of collecting data from the total population. Under random sampling, each member of the subset carries an equal opportunity of being chosen as a part of sampling process. Right? So this is very true. This is agreeable that go for the random sampling. This is the appropriate way to select the data or select the sample. The other is the stratified random sampling. Is method of sampling that involves the division of a population into a smaller group known as strata. अमोलोटिशन सैम्पलिंग का सबसे छोटा फॉर्म जो होता है उसको स्मॉलर ग्रुप को स्टार्टर कहते हैं. In stratified random sampling or stratification, the strata are formed based on the members' shared attributes and characteristics. These are considered because they are from the same society, the walk of life or the society. The people are from the same characteristics. Teachers हैं, but suppose education system, and from the education system there are principals, there are headmistresses, there are senior mistresses, there are the coordinators, there are the subject coordinators, and there are the teachers. There's so many people are there in that. When we talk about the education system, when we talk about the teachers, then every teacher, every different kinds of teachers, different subject teachers are there. English subject, English teachers, Urdu teachers, mathematics teachers. So again, we are going for a stratification from the bigger to the smaller group to smaller group. And okay, we come from the different school. Then we come with the same group of the people having English teachers, and from the English teachers or from the Urdu teachers, we are going to collect the data. There's a stratification of the sampling. Stratified sampling is probability sampling, basically techniques wherein the researchers divide the entire population into different subgroups or strata, then randomly select the final subject proportionally from the different strata. बेसिकली आप क्या कर रहे होते हैं, आपने बहुत बड़ा क्यों रुकनी जी, मैं तो लेंगे BS students. So from BS students, from where BS students? BS of English department, BS from economics department, BS from which department? Okay, no, BS from English department. Okay, BS from English department. From which group? BS1, BS2, BS3, BS4. Okay, it's BS3. Okay, now then you are going to focusing with the more strata coming to the, that is called as stratified sampling. Okay, choose a number of close to the minimum if you have a limited time and money. आपको ये देखना है कि इशू कहाँ है. तो अगर ये पॉसिबिलिटीज और प्रॉब्लम्स हो तो आप क्या से काम करेंगे. इफ यू वुड बी हैविंग दीज प्रॉब्लम्स, यू चूज अ क्लोजर नंबर ऑफ मिनिमम के सबसे कम अगर प्रॉब्लम हो रही हो, कम से कम मेंबर्स आपको चूज करने हैं. तो व्हाट इज द रीजन? यू हैव अ लिमिटेड टाइम और मनी. You need to a rough estimate of the result. You don't plan to divide the sample into different groups during the analysis, or you only plan to use few large groups, males or females. You think most people will give similar answer. The decision that will be made based on the result do not have a significant consequences. So if you believe in that कि sometime कि नहीं minimum इसलिए ले रहे हैं कि इसमें से आंसर सबके सब एक ही जैसे आएंगे. So you don't want to with that. तो हम क्वेश्चनर्स ऐसे बनाते हैं जिसमें हम वैरायटी ऑफ क्वेश्चंस ऐसे रखते हैं, हैविंग डिफरेंट आंसर्स. फॉर सपोज कि एक क्वेश्चन है मेल और फीमेल का, सो यू डोंट नीड इट विद दैट. आपको जरूरत नहीं है उस सवाल की. सो यू डोंट प्लान टू डिवाइड द सैंपल इनटू डिफरेंट ग्रुप. इसमें आपको प्लान का आपको जरूरत ही नहीं थी. आपको प्लान ही नहीं किया आपकी किसको इससे मेल ग्रुप में डिवाइड करेंगे या फीमेल ग्रुप में डिवाइड करेंगे. So that is cause more closer to the minimum. Okay, maximum क्या हो सकता है? You have at the time or money. अगर आप ज्यादा पॉपुलेशन पे काम कर रहे हैं, सैंपल्स पे काम कर रहे हैं, इसका मतलब यह है कि you have a time and you have a money to do it. It is important to get an accurate result. It is very important that whenever you have a good sample size, you will be having good and accurate results. You plan to divide the sample into many different groups during the analysis, different age groups, socio-economic levels. So if you are working with that, अगर ज़्यादा लोगों के साथ काम करेंगे, ज़्यादा accurate काम होगा, फिर उनको सब डिवाइड करेंगे कि नहीं जी हम पहले मेल फीमेल कर लेंगे, मेल्स को अलग कर लेंगे, फीमेल्स को अलग करेंगे, उनके एज ग्रुप्स को अलग कर लेंगे, उनकी एजुकेशन क्वालिफिकेशन को अलग कर लेंगे, and then we are working with that. Right? This is more stratified sampling in that. So you think people are likely to give many different answers. The decision that will be made based on the result of the survey are important, expensive, or have a serious consequences. It is very important. कि आपको लगता है कि नहीं जितने लोग अलग अलग जितने ज़्यादा लोग उसे पूछूंगे, I'll be having a good and there are different conceptions of the answers would be there. Would be more consequences. हो सकता है consequences भी मुझे result में आ जाए. Reasons पता चल जाए. So you'll be working with all these issues.